What is up, lads? Welcome back to the channel. Game week 1 has come and gone, and all I can say, it's great to have FPL back. There was definitely some massive ups and downs in game week 1, and if you managed to land on the good fortune of game week 1, fair play. If you ended up falling on the wrong side of lady luck in game week 1, don't forget, there's 37 game weeks in the season, and you can easily turn things around. That being said, we've a lot of things to analyse ahead of game week 2, so in this video, we'll be looking at how my team fared out in game week 1, and we'll also be looking at my transfer plans and team selection ahead of game week 2. Let's get into the video. It was a great start to FPL life on Friday night, with a Ramsdale clean sheet and a Gabriel Martinelli goal. It really should have been 2 goals for Martinelli, having missed a big chance in the first 10 minutes, but I'll happily take his 1 goal return. The big upset on Friday night was the fact that Gabriel Jesus blanked, and if Martinelli scored his big chance, and if Martin Odegaard shot instead of stalling on the ball, the Brazilian would have had 2 assists. Jesus looked lively during the game, and he definitely won't be leaving my team anytime soon. It's only a matter of time before he returns, and I'm hoping it'll be against Leicester in game week 2. Moving on to Saturday morning, we'll have to start off with the downside of my defensive double up, unexpectedly losing their clean sheet to Fulham, who looked very well on Saturday morning. Andres Pereira looked very lively at a 4.5 million midfielder in the game, and with him being on corners and set pieces for Fulham, he's an absolute bargain buy, and it raises the question if we should actually be starting him some weeks. Even after having a poor game, SALAH came away with a goal and assist and 24 points from the Éire. He's an absolute essential pick in the game, and he won't be leaving my team all season. It was a nervous watch during the 3 o'clock games, with Pedro Neto the only man on my team, which meant I didn't have Kane, Son or Bailey in my team. Luckily for me, Kane and Bailey blanked and Son only grabbed an assist. Unfortunately Neto blanked, but he did show glimpses of promise that I'm hoping he'll carry on to game week 2 when Wolves face Fulham. On to the late game on Saturday evening, and although expected, a Reece James clean sheet was definitely a welcomed return. It shows how good of a pick he is in the game, because even after picking up a yellow card, he still managed to get 2 bonus points. Moving on to Sunday's games, it was a very disappointing result as a Rashford owner and a United supporter. I can feel unlucky that he didn't return, as he really should have scored in the second half when Sanchez denied him. I still think he's really good value at 6.5 million in the game, but if United continue in the same form they played against Brighton in game week 1, I think he'll have to make way. Moving on to the last game in game week 1, HAALAND repaid the fate with 2 goals against West Ham. If you fell on the wrong side of the Kane and HAALAND decision, don't feel too down, as it really was a 50-50 call. Spurs scored 4 goals, and I was very surprised that Kane wasn't involved. Similar to Reece James, João Cancelo showed how much of an essential pick he is in the game, picking up 2 bonus points even after picking up a yellow card. From all of these returns, we managed to get 73 points for the game week, so I can be very happy with how game week 1 played out. This puts me at an overall rank of 892k, so with the game week 1 review out of the way, it's time to start planning ahead for game week 2. Before we get on to my game week 2 team selection, here's some tips I'd advise ahead of game week 2. Firstly, 1 round of games definitely isn't enough information to judge whether or not your game week 1 picks should be staying in your team or making way. Trust your team selection from game week 1, you picked these players for a reason. If you don't have HAALAND in your team, get him in now. A Man City forward on penalties makes him an absolutely essential pick in the game, and with a home fixture next against Bournemouth, he'll definitely be the highest captain player this week. Even if you missed the price rise earlier in the week, I still think he's worth a -4 to get into your team. If you own Perisic in your team, I'd advise you to keep him. He might have only made a cameo appearance against Southampton, but with Sessegnon scoring and Emerson Royal getting an assist, we've already got a glimpse of how dangerous the Spurs full-backs can be. There's some doubts on whether or not he'll start this weekend against Chelsea, but I think he's a player that every manager will be going towards from game week 3 onwards, so if you have him, keep him in your team. If you own any of Rashford, Neto and Bailey, I'd definitely advise you to give them 1 more week in your team. And lastly, if you can afford to save your free transfer, definitely do. 2 free transfers ahead of game week 3 will be absolutely massive, and I'm sure there'll be another bandwagon to hop on ahead of this game week. From this, I won't be making any moves this week, and I'll be saving my transfer for game week 3, where I'll be able to have 2 free transfers this game week. With the free transfer saved, let's have a look at how I'll be lining up ahead of game week 2. With my free transfer save for game week 3, it means I've no changes made to my game week 1 team. This leaves my lineup as follows: Ramsdale in goals, Trent, Robbo, James and Cancelo in defence, Salah, Neto, Rashford and Martinelli in midfield, and Jesus and HAALAND up front. Let's have a look at who'll be getting the captaincy for game week 2. A home fixture for Man City against Bournemouth points me towards HAALAND for the Éire this week. In a fixture that many believe to be a tough one for City, he was a top performer, scoring twice, and was ranked first for shots in the box, big chances and expected goals. With the added bonus of him being on penalties for City, means I'm looking at him for the Éire this week. Salah at home to Palace on Monday night is definitely a good shout for the Éire too, but I'm predicting HAALAND to be the most captain player this game week, so this edges it for me. Barring any injury shocks that come out from the press conferences on Friday, this is how I'll be lining up this week. I'll be in Albufeira this weekend, so unfortunately there'll be no deadline stream ahead of game week 2, but I'll be back having one for game week 3. There you have it, there's my game week 2 team. Best of luck for game week 2, and I'll see you in the next video.